everyone, and happy World Kindness Day. Thank you so much for celebrating with Touch of Life Foundation. Welcome to the TALScout panel, Youths Making an Impact. TALScouts is our youth internship program at Touch of Life Foundation. It was started this year as part of our drive to include youth participation in their communities. Touch of Life Foundation was founded by high school students who saw a need and wanted to make a difference. So the TALScouts program is us going back to our roots and getting the kids involved in giving. And I am so pleased to be joined by 3 of our TALScout teams. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. Let's start with the California team, if you please.
Hi, my name is Suryatej Mandadi. I am a senior in 12th grade in Irvington High School in Fremont, California.
Hi, my name is Rishit Gopisetti. I'm a junior at Wilcox High School.
Hi, my name is Karthik, and I'm a 10th grader at Mission San Jose.
Now let's head over to Colorado.
Hi, my name is Abhi, and I live in Colorado, of course, and I go to Legacy High School, and I'm a senior.
Hi, my name is Rishi, and I'm a junior at Legacy High School, and again, I'm in Colorado.
And down to Texas.
My name is Arush Shaw. I go to Liberty High School in Frisco, Texas, and I'm an 11th grade junior.
My name is Harshit, and I'm also a junior at Liberty High School.
Hi, I'm Pujit Nukala. I'm also a junior at Liberty High School.
Hello, I'm Varun Tornala, and I'm also a junior at Liberty High School.
Thank you all for joining me today. I'm excited to talk to you about the TALScouts program. Let me start on the California side again, since you guys were kind of the pilot program starting this summer. What kind of drove you to Touch of Life Foundation, and what inspired you to become a TALScout?
I initially joined Touch of Life as a way to contribute during COVID-19 and also gain some relevant experience in service work. But just doing more and more work and getting more and more involved in the organization, it became a lot more than just a volunteer opportunity, because we started doing like genuine research and various tasks that exposes us to like different aspects within the crowdfunding process for Touch of Life. So our group was one of like the initial TALScout programs, so we really took it upon ourselves to set a good example and lead future teams as well. So it really went from just like a volunteer opportunity and just doing service work in our area to having more of a large scale impact and more of a long-term stake in what Touch of Life can achieve.
How about the Colorado team? I know you guys joined about mid-summer. What brought you to Touch of Life Foundation?
Well, amidst the pandemic, we didn't have much we've been volunteers before Touch of Life, but during the pandemic, we didn't have anywhere to go to, and Touch of Life was a perfect and unique opportunity for us to help others and make a difference. And I feel like how they were the first in California, we were the first outside of California, and we took that upon ourselves to, build a team. And I guess with TAL, we were allowed to expand much beyond just volunteering, and we're working on our podcast right now. So yeah, it's more than just volunteering, it's a lot.
Yeah, that's great. I'm looking forward to seeing that podcast continue to develop as well. And Texas, I know you guys are here in full force representing Touch of Life Foundation. What brought you to Touch of Life in the TALScout program?
Well, as for me, I saw this. I was actually introduced to this by Varun and his father. They told me about this organization, and when I knew what it was about, I was really interested, not only to help me in the future with colleges or jobs, but also experience. It's good to have this kind of experience where you're working as part of a group to make the world a better place. And especially in a time like this, COVID-19, when a lot of people may be needing help, and it's not very easy to find these kind of opportunities. I think this was perfect, and I was really interested in joining for this reason.
That's great. And Varun, I've heard that you have been kind of the recruiter on the Texas side. What made you reach out to your friends and pull them into this TALScout program?
Yeah, so my uncle and my father were the ones that inspired me to work as a team to find out some ideas to help out our communities, and I just thought, why not ask my friends to help me do that.
That's great. And I know a lot of you are working within your schools as well as your larger community to build up the TALScout program. You being the kind of pilot group, you've had a lot of opportunities to help us shape what this program is going to turn into, and you're working on a lot of different projects. I think maybe let's start with the Colorado team. What are some of the projects you're working on? You mentioned that you're doing a podcast.
So yeah, we're working on a podcast called The Scouts, and initially we were looking for more people to bring onto the team, and we enjoyed that a lot, but we thought our strength would be in making a podcast and helping spread the word through that. So me, Abhi, and as well as our other partner Sharath, who couldn't make it today, we made the podcast called The Scouts, and we just recorded our pilot episode, and we're planning on recording our second one soon. So yeah, Abhi, if you'd like to add anything onto that.
Yeah, but besides that, our focus has been on, of course, World Kindness Day and this event. So making posters and contributing to the video clips our team has been putting together. Besides that, it's marketing focused for us.
Yeah, that's great. I think that that's a good point about the TALScout program. You guys were interested in marketing, so you have really taken your talents and gone full speed ahead on the marketing front. And me being part of the marketing team, I really appreciate your contribution. I've also worked with the California team on some marketing initiatives, but they've got a couple of projects that they've been working on. Would you guys like to tell us about those?
Yeah, sure. So we've been doing a lot of projects since the summer, and some of them like included like homelessness and underprivileged students. So as some of you may know, we have like an app, and we would reach out to the schools, and then we would ask them if you wanted to put a donation on our app. We would teach them how to do it, or sometimes we'd do it ourselves, and then we'd raise money for the schools. And some of the other stuff we did was we went from like county to county, and we looked at the statistical information of like homelessness and underprivileged students, and we try to help those communities out by putting them on our app, raising awareness and stuff like that. And some of the other stuff we did was we helped organize the hackathon, and it's part of the World Kindness Day. So these are all stuff we've done so far, and we plan to do more stuff. We plan to raise more money, and it's all up to the TALScouts themselves to take the program into the future. So it's basically scout led, and if we come up with more ideas, we can do more.
I think you mentioned the hackathon, which was entirely a scout-driven initiative. What inspired you to propose a hackathon program?
So we were just brainstorming ideas that day. We needed like something like raise money and then raise awareness. And I just like had a hackathon like over the summer. So I'm like, why not just do like a hackathon? Like a lot of people like to do it. It can be easily done over Zoom during this COVID-19 time. And at the same time, we can raise a lot of awareness and reach a large group of people. So we proposed that idea, and it went through, and now we're about to do a hackathon, I believe next week.
That's great. And I think the hackathon really goes towards the TALScout, kind of the beauty of the TALScout program, because you took something that you were interested in, that you had passion with, and you're able to turn it into a fundraising opportunity and a awareness campaign for TALScouts and the TALScout initiative. So well done. I'm going to head down to Texas again. the other teams have talked about raising awareness and some of the causes that they're working on. I know you guys have done a lot of research and have dove into a couple of specific causes. Would you like to tell us about that?
Yeah, sure. So when we first started doing some research on underdeveloped or places that need some resources in Texas, we found that Dallas ISD was heavily underfunded and could use a lot of help, especially during the COVID crisis. So what we decided to do was we wanted to make an impact in the community, especially with the health of the people. So we decided to fundraise money for masks and donate them to Dallas ISD schools. And recently we just placed an order of masks where we can provide around 200 families with enough masks so they can stay safe during this crisis.
That's incredible. And such a timely cause. A lot of you have mentioned the COVID-19 pandemic, and kind of the state of where we are right now has caused a lot of things to go virtual and online. I know you're all in school and doing various versions of hybrid and virtual classes. Now you're doing virtual volunteering. How has that experience been? I know some of you had mentioned you had volunteered before. Has it been an adjustment to do things virtually, or was it kind of natural, seeing as most of you have probably grown up in this digital world?
I find it pretty natural. I actually like it a lot more than volunteering in person because it allows me to work around my time and get things done when I want to. While if I had to volunteer like a homeless shelter, I had to go in at a certain time and clock in, clock out. But this time, in this, I can work whenever I want to, and it's much more interesting because, of course, we are doing something marketing related, which we love.
Yeah, another thing I would like to add is more about TAL. Like in my other volunteering experiences, they would give you certain tasks that you have to do, and then you do them whether you like enjoy them or not. But with TAL, they really let you decide what you're going to want to do, and they let your team choose the initiatives you want to work on and the projects you want to do. So I really love that about this organization.
Any other comments?
Yeah, I feel like in essence, it's pretty much the same, as in we want to spread kindness and happiness to everyone who needs it, but I feel like it misses out on the physical interaction and actually being there to help people out. But in otherwise, it's been pretty fun, and I really like that I had an opportunity during the COVID crisis to volunteer.
I find it pretty natural. I actually like it a lot more than volunteering in person because it allows me to work around my time and get things done when I want to. While if I had to volunteer like a homeless shelter, I had to go in at a certain time and clock in, clock out. But this time, in this, I can work whenever I want to, and it's much more interesting because, of course, we are doing something marketing related, which we love.
Yeah, another thing I would like to add is more about TAL. Like in my other volunteering experiences, they would give you certain tasks that you have to do, and then you do them whether you like enjoy them or not. But with TAL, they really let you decide what you're going to want to do, and they let your team choose the initiatives you want to work on and the projects you want to do. So I really love that about this organization.
Any other comments?
Yeah, I feel like in essence, it's pretty much the same, as in we want to spread kindness and happiness to everyone who needs it, but I feel like it misses out on the physical interaction and actually being there to help people out. But in otherwise, it's been pretty fun, and I really like that I had an opportunity during the COVID crisis to volunteer.
Do you guys find that in times of crisis like we are now, you're more driven to those causes, or were there other causes that you were aware of before joining Touch a Life that you thought TAL would give you an opportunity to pursue?
Well, for me, I feel like there's always been, regardless of if it was in the COVID or not COVID, there were different causes that in TAL we could have worked on and involved ourselves in and helped. But I feel like with this, like you mentioned, if we were more driven, I feel like, yes, we are more driven to help out in these causes during times of COVID, because there's so many more. And for me, at least, that just makes it more important for us to give back to the community.
Yeah, I definitely think COVID was a good catalyst to like really push me into trying to find more work during now. But I feel like regardless, I still would have been able to join TAL regardless if there was COVID. But I think with COVID, there's a bit more impact we can have, and there's a bit more opportunities for us to work with, and a lot more causes for us to attend to. So maybe that's like a sort of silver lining at the end.
Mhm. I think that's true. It is an opportunity to bring people together around a single issue. And I think it's interesting how each of you have gone into your communities and found different ways to participate in the kind of addressing these issues. For example, how the Texas team raised money for masks versus California team looking at hunger and homelessness. The Colorado team raising awareness. And there are lots of different ways to address a single issue. And I think that one thing about the TALScout program that we have tried to really stress is the fact that everybody can help in different ways, and we want to give everyone the opportunity to help how they can, how they want to help as well. So whether it be in research or outreach or onboarding or in raising awareness, everybody has the opportunity to contribute in ways that they are most comfortable in. What are some of the key benefits you guys are seeing as being part of the TALScouts program?
I can say this on behalf of the entire Texas team. Working in TAL and helping other people out really helped us become closer and know each other better. And it's really helping us figure out who we are, what we stand for, and how we would move on with our lives after high school. And like we would continue wanting to help others out and like continue a life of service.
I think for us, I think we learned the importance of communication because we all have our own things we want to do, all of our own initiatives that we have a personal bias towards, but getting everyone on the same page and having everyone work to one thing instead of a bunch of people working towards separate things is something we have learned. And just the communication within a work environment is something I've never been exposed to, but I think something that we have been exposed to now. And it's definitely a great learning experience.
Yeah, totally agree with all of that. Like, not only did we like help people, like help our community, we also got to learn like valuable skills. Like, there's like different tracks you can go to, and you can learn like engineering, and marketing and outreach, and you can like go into a separate path. You can like intern with someone, they give you assignments and you do them, and that's such a valuable skill to learn. And like not a lot of people get this opportunity during COVID-19 time. And if you learn something like this, it'll help us later in jobs and in college and stuff like that. So
I was just going to ask, are any of you currently taking advantage of the kind of work training tracks? I know the podcast team that's one of our marketing tracks, and you'll be working with the marketing team and the radio team to put that project together. California team, I think you're working with engineering on the hackathon program. Any other kind of skill sets that you guys are seeing and utilizing being part of the TALScouts?
I think there's a lot of product marketing, at least like early on when we first started, like during the summer, getting into Touch a Life. There was a lot of like in our own social media campaigns, there was a lot of how to use the product, and also getting out this message of these are some underprivileged people within our communities. So it was a good integration of like marketing both the Tall Giving app and also marketing for our underprivileged uh, causes that we're trying to support.
How are you finding working with the Tall Giving platform? Have you guys been utilizing it to onboard groups or individuals for specific needs? Have you guys been using it yourselves?
Yeah, for the California team especially, we've been working with a lot of schools with the platform. Either we reach out to them or they reach out to us, and we set up a post for them. Whether a lot of schools right now, they need hygiene kits, especially during Corona or like COVID time. So just being able to use that platform to reach out to others and help these schools and individuals has been really powerful for us.
Similar with the California team, we've been doing the same thing, but we've been doing it with Dallas ISD, and it really helped us trying to communicate with them and everything to get set. And yeah.
I guess in a weird way, I onboarded myself onto TAL basically because my mom and I have a nonprofit, and Kavita opened her eyes and like said, well, you can just put this on TAL and get more people to donate towards your initiative. So yeah, I guess I use the TAL app to onboard myself and my organization. But yeah.
That's fabulous. That is one of our big missions with the Tao Giving platform, is that it is cause agnostic, and we are a nonprofit ourselves, but we are a nonprofit that supports other nonprofits and other causes. So I love that being part of the TALScouts program, you're able to actually utilize the platform for your own organization, your own work. Why do you think it's important for younger generations and youth to participate in kindness? What are kind of some of the driving forces for you to contribute to your communities, and what would you tell your friends if they were interested in getting involved? Why should they?
Well, I think it's important for people of our generation, especially like you mentioned, to get involved with these causes and programs, because when you're young, that's when you're learning to prepare for what you do when you're an adult. And if you start early, it's only going to make it easier for you. And, you know, it'll make you a better person when you grow up to know that you have the habit of getting involved in these organizations and things to give back to the community.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that it really helps create a learning experience for kids, and it can really help for their future getting into colleges and for their future jobs.
Yeah, and aside from just like the skills you get and like the professional resume experience you get from this, which is amazing from Touch a Life, it's also like a good way to gain some perspective on how a lot of things work within our world. I know probably a lot of us live within like our own bubble, our own socioeconomic bubble. So Touch a Life really exposes us to a lot of other aspects that are within our world, and a lot of other aspects that are need more attention, and it really raises awareness for a lot of these issues that we've seen.
And being teenagers, it really helps us channel our energy towards the right direction, so that we can help people out who aren't as privileged as we are or in the same situation. And that really helped us in the Texas team.
And something we focus on our podcast is how everyone has this mindset in them that they can be kind, but unlocking it is the important part. So getting kids involved in things like TAL is, I guess, the perfect way to unlock this mindset. If they don't have the physical ability, that's a different part, but those who do have the ability and we unlock the mindset for, it's better to start young and get them involved in that way.
Well, you mentioned having to unlock that kindness. Was there any moments for any of you where you saw an injustice or a cause or a statistic that struck you and you felt like you needed to do something, or asked yourself, what can I do to help this situation or contribute to this cause? Was there any catalyst maybe before you joined TALScouts or as you were doing your research that struck you and made you want to do more, learn more?
Yeah, so for the Texas TAL team, in the beginning, we created these Google Slides presentations to show what kind of research we saw in for youth. We saw there was a lot of is a high increase in poverty near the Dallas downtown, I think. And what me and my dad thought, we were thinking of buying food for people that in need, so we can see that they can have happiness.
I know personally for myself, seeing the hunger statistics in the United States was very jarring and eye-opening to me personally. It's something that I did not consider. Obviously, you know that there is a fight against hunger. You see food pantries, but you don't recognize the kind of amount of food that's, one, wasted, and two, the amount of people that are going without, especially youth and young students who are struggling with hunger. That was something that really it hit me hard and made me want to do more and get into research and figure out, okay, how can we support this cause and how can I give back to the fight against hunger? I know some of you were working on hunger initiatives and also the mask initiatives. Are there any causes that you see wanting to give back to in the future, or any organizations that you kind of want to focus on going into the winter program?
So actually, I have one thing I'd like to add on to the last point you said.
Absolutely.
So, well, initially when I joined TAL, I saw this as another way to just get some volunteering hours. But throughout, I don't know about, for me personally, a specific stat that I saw, but throughout the research process that I did, seeing all the stats and everything, it became more than just volunteering and more like I was personally invested in this. And now in our podcast, we have a segment where we just, like, it's a trivia segment kind of, where we just spitball facts and stats about all the hunger and homelessness and underprivilegedness that we have throughout the world, not just the United States. And I think that's really to help push other people when they hear those stats, to make them unlock that kindness that they have.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that those kinds of programs are very important. We talk a lot about raising awareness, and I think programs like your podcast and showcasing those statistics. I did have the privilege of getting to see some of your guys' presentations early on, and there were certain numbers that really stuck out to me, not realizing what the issues were in those communities. And I think that big part of what you guys are doing that research and seeing where the need is very important and will help us as we continue to build out Touch Life Foundation and figure out more ways that we can contribute. That initial research that you guys do is very important. Any other thoughts on causes that you guys are working on, or kind of the key benefits to participating in the Scouts program?
I think one cause, not really like a specific issue that we want to address, but one thing we want to do basically within Touch a Life is really expand this organization's outreach, and we really want to connect to a lot of the nonprofits that are within our area. I know we've done a bit of work with schools, and we can still continue to do that work with schools, but we really want to get in touch with a lot of the local Bay Area nonprofits and either get them on our platform, through either using Tall Radio or using our other marketing pathways. So we really want to find different, as you said, like make it an agnostic to whatever cause or organizations they are. So we want to expand and like diversify the organizations and the efforts that we're trying to advocate for.
That's great. Continuing on, we had mentioned when we were talking about some of the benefits of TALScouts, we talked about volunteer hours being a key benefit in terms of getting those volunteer hours for school. But also there is an opportunity to include the TALScout program on future resumes and college applications. I know some of you might be getting into the college application process. Do you see a TALScout program being useful as you start putting together those applications and resumes?
Well, I'm a senior, so I've already submitted a lot of my applications, and I can say that I have put TAL on there, and to show that I've had leadership skills and experience in the past, but more so some of the essays, they ask questions like take an experience where you have shown leadership and what you learned from it. So I talked about in one of my essays like how the communication part that I mentioned earlier and the importance of that. So I carried out a theme of communication throughout my essay and how TAL was an example. So it just gives content to talk about, but also when colleges see this, there's a reason why they think of it as they're impressed by it, because you do learn so many skills from the experience.
I would like to close out this panel by asking you, as kind of our next generation, as I had mentioned earlier, I am part of the TAL marketing team, and I have a podcast called Power of Kindness. And one thing that we ask each of our guests, and most of our guests, these are established either business people or leaders of nonprofits, people who have had a little bit of life experience. We ask them what power of kindness means to them. I think that would be very interesting to see you all as you're kind of starting your journey in this world. What does power of kindness mean to you? What's the importance of celebrating World Kindness Day?
So kindness is generally associated with positive, and I'm pretty sure all of us have before heard like the power of positive. If you think something positive will happen, it will happen. If you think negative stuff will happen, it will happen, because it's subconsciously rooted in your mind that this is going to happen. So, and kindness is pretty much the same thing. If you try to do something kind to someone, you're going to get it back, probably even greater. So the kinder you are, the more happy you're going to lead a life, and the more happy people around you are going to be. That's all I wanted to add.
Yeah, and I think with the power of kindness is it really, like what it has an impact on people is it really gives them a lot of perspective, I think today we have a lot of people that are more self-centered and maybe a bit more individualized like within society. So really having that like empathetic and kind perspective is good to like step in other people's shoes and realize what they're going through. So like it makes you more likely to help out and be a lot more understanding with others.
I mean, when you have like the ability to do something and help these underprivileged or people who are struggling in a way, and you have the ability to do it, you're always going to get something in return because you're helping someone lead a better life in any way, really.
I believe by helping people out, we would give them, in essence, like a better feeling and make their day essentially. And if we were to continue giving out kindness and helping other people out, they would most likely be oriented to do the same to other people. So by taking charge of giving, like helping out others, you're essentially helping more people than you've received yourself. And over time, this continues to build up and has a really big impact on the community that you love and the one that you try to help out with all your heart.
I think to cap it off, I can say that um, when you're doing something, like when you're not spending your time on something you believe is useful, you're not going to be as confident. And when I go through a weekend spending time making videos or preparing for something that I know will help spread an awareness for um, a topic or something, I go about my way with a little more confidence, knowing that I'm doing something good instead of wasting my time. So, and then of course there's obviously karma and um, what you do will come back around. So that aspect of the kindness is also present.
Absolutely. I think you'll also find that if you feel good about what you're doing and you're happy with what you're doing, your work becomes that much better as well, knowing that you are giving back. Any closing thoughts before we wrap this up?
I just want to say thank you for allowing us to express all our like opinions and work and our views on this. And yeah, thank you for hosting this. It was really good experience.
Absolutely. No, it was my pleasure to speak with all of you.
And those of you who are listening and watching, whichever, please try to do something good on November the 13th or in the week of, and maybe that'll be a catalyst for your future. If you're a prospective scout, please join our program and we'll open you with open arms. But yeah, just please try to do something kind, at least if you have the time to do so.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you for hosting this meeting. It was a great experience for me. I liked to learn a lot about other Colorado's and California's teams' opinions, and it might also benefit Texas TAL's projects and opinions as well.
Well, I thank you all. This has been a wonderful conversation. You guys give me hope in our future, knowing that you, with everything you have going on, you know, being a teenager is not easy by any means. And the fact that you guys take your time to contribute and volunteer, and you all clearly have great compassion and empathy, and the fact that you are working to make your communities a better place is truly an inspiration. And I just would like to thank you all for celebrating World Kindness Day with me today. For anyone who is interested in learning more about the TALScouts program, you can visit the virtual expo from the home screen. They have a booth where some of the scouts, you'll see some familiar faces. They have put in some great information about the program, and you can also reach out to our scout leaders to learn how you can either join a current team or put together your own team in your state, in your school, in your community. We are also working to expand the TALScout program into clubs at different high schools. So if you want more information, if you're interested in onboarding your school, either in the TALScout program or just using TAL Giving for fundraisers, definitely check out their booth at the virtual expo. And you can go to our website at touchlife.org/TALScouts.